How are y'all? Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that little bravado at the end of a child? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Southern Therapy Podcast. I am your host, Danielle Bailey, and I am here back again for another episode, coming right back at y'all. Oh, I did one Sunday, now I did another one today. I'm like back to back on them things. I'm like a Drake out here, okay? I know y'all are like, this girl is crazy. I'm out here like a Drake back to back on y'all this week. So, but nonetheless, y'all, I'm excited about today's topic because the reason why I'm excited about it is because I have really been okay. So first of all, for those of you who are new to the podcast, welcome. I'm Danielle Bailey. I am a licensed mental health therapist, and by night I'm a podcaster. I'm a financial therapist, and all the other great stuff or whatever. But y'all, I wanted to come on here and really and truly, like when I was trying to debate on trying not necessarily debate, but when I was trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about on today's episode, this really and truly popped up in my mind because I have been dealing with this a lot. Like y'all, when I say that, I mean I've been dealing with this a lot. Like I've been talking to a couple of people in my practice about this, like really providing therapy on this. And so I was just like, why not make it a topic for the podcast? And so, I was just like, sure, boom, let's go. So today's topic, we got a couple of things that I want to talk about. Today's topic, the main thing that I want us to talk about, I want us to talk about role identity, right? But before we get to role identity, I want to talk about my God, Transformation Church. Oh, if I just got excited in my spirit. For those of you who do not know, Transformation Church is led by lead pastor Mike Todd and his wife Natalie Todd. Y'all go and check out their YouTube page, Transformation Church. Their Sunday service. My God, my God, my God. Their Sunday service was amazing. It was something that, oh, for those of you who are new to the podcast, I talk about God. Okay, like I'm trying to get my Christian life together, but I talk about God and everything else. So just be prepared. If you don't like it, sorry, go ahead and get off. But for those of you who actually enjoy it, here we go. But Mike Todd at Transformation Church, this past Sunday, y'all, when I tell y'all it was so good, a couple of things that happened to me that did my soul, my spirit so well. Let's see, let me make sure I put this date. So the sermon that I'm talking about, if you go to YouTube, Transformation Church, I'm talking about the video for May 17th, relationship goals. Y'all, Mike Todd, first in the beginning, he made, like if y'all follow Mike Todd on Instagram, is I am Mike Todd. Like he do, like I guess like a pregame, like he showed when he get to the church and stuff like that. So Sunday before he got to the church, like he getting out and he usually talk to people and like let's go, Transformation Nation, woo woo woo. Well, this Sunday he ain't say none of that because he had lost his voice. And so he was just like, but I still got a word for you guys. Y'all pray for me. So, the saints must have prayed, okay? The saints prayed. But instead of having a word, instead of having preaching, this man in this church had a full-blown worship service. No, but he didn't preach not a word. I think his assistant, I don't know if he's his assistant, but he one of the local pastors there. He came like as they was worshiping, Pastor Charles, yes, that's what his name is. He came, he gave a scripture and he explained a little bit, but it was the old school type of worship that you need. Like tarrying with the Holy Spirit until he comes. You know, like, I mean, it was just that type of worship. Like, I mean, just crying out to God, but crying out to God really and truly just, God inhabited our praises. And when you call upon him, like, he will come, he will be in the midst, he will be in the room. And so, I guess that as I grow in my Christian walk, and as I continue to grow older and continue to go through things, and besides going through things, but go deeper, I sense to get a deeper revelation. I've heard this said so many times before that it's super duper important to worship God, and God inhabits his praises and all. Like, I heard this before, but for whatever reason, when Mike Todd said worship is our weapon, and I knew that we should worship, like, I would say this, who did this? Rosalind Renee, Therapy as a Christian podcast. Check her out. She had created this W method. And so she talked about worshiping, reading, and prayer. Yeah, that was her three things: worshiping, reading, and prayer. And so, like, I really started listening to her talk about the importance of worship, having a worship song and stuff like that. And then I remember Tatum Tamia at Blessed and Bossed Up podcast. She talked about, worshiping, setting the atmosphere and stuff like that. And, like, I have been learning more about worship, and learning more about, how we need to, worship before we start praying, really and truly just setting the atmosphere. And there's even a song by Kurt Carr talking about setting the atmosphere. So, like, I knew this. I knew that we should worship and all of this. But Sunday, for whatever reason, it stuck with me about the importance of worshiping. Like, the importance of when we worship, God has no choice but to come and see about us. Like, worship is our weapon. Like, when we worship, that opens up the door for God to be like, I am here. What is it that you need, my daughter, my son? What is it? I am here. I inhabit the praises. What you're doing. So, like, when he just said worship is my weapon, and I'm just like, just blown away. And so, like, I mean, it was, and listening to the lyrics of the songs, like, now I'm really and truly listening to the lyrics of the song and what these songs are saying. And it's just like some of the wording that they're saying or whatever is like, oh my God, like, this is what I've been singing. And so, just, y'all, I'm telling y'all, worship before you do anything. Worship before you pray. Worship, sing a song, invite the Holy Spirit in, and stuff like that. And this morning when I woke up, this song just stood in my heart to where I had to I just kept singing it. And so the more I sung the song, like, I just began to cry over there, whatever. And so it's Refiner, what it say, I wanna be tried by fire, purify, so take whatever you desire, Lord, here's my life. I wanna be tried by fire, purify, so take whatever you desire, Lord, here's my life. Like, I know I ain't the singer, but y'all, when I tell you, I just repeated those three sentences for whatever reason. Those three sentences, that melody was stuck in my spirit this morning. And the song is much more than that, but those three sentences, I want to be tried by fire. Like, I want to be tried by fire, purify, so take whatever you desire, Lord, here's my life. Like, when you get burned, and because what it is, it's gold that they get purified. And so what is left is the goodness. Everything else that's not of God is going to be burned away. So it's just like, Yo, I want to be tried by fire. Like, I just, oh my God, it just stuck in my spirit for whatever. And I just kept singing that song and I just began to cry out to God. And that's like, and then I know like a lot of people be like, well, how, a lot of people may be like, how do you worship? And another thing that really and truly, that really like ministered to me and really spoke to my heart. And I'm just going to say it because maybe somebody who listening to this may have, like had these some of the same experience that I may have. So that's why I'm saying it. And just to let you know or whatever, like as I've grown, I realized that, you don't have to do that. And so my thing is, I used to believe when I was a babe in Christian that in Christ or whatever, that when you sing the song, like you have to cry. Like you have to become emotional in order for God to visit you or whatever. Like you have to cry, literally, I mean literally cry, literally tap the church and all this other kind of stuff in order to have an encounter with God. I used to believe that. Like I used to be like, oh my God, I didn't cry, I didn't tap the church. Well, I must not have had an encounter with God. But that is far from the truth. You do not have to cry. You do not have to tear up the church. You don't have to do any of that. Long as your heart is pure. Like you don't, like that right there, that's just an emotion. But like when your heart is pure and when you really and truly and sincerely means the word that you are saying, that's all you need. So, for those of you who may think that, okay, I didn't cry at church, I didn't fall out at church, I didn't speak in tongues, I didn't do any of this at church, I didn't have an encounter with God. No, no, y'all. Don't beat up on yourself like I did. Like, oh my God, I didn't have an encounter with God. And it's just like, no, like, I can have an encounter with God and just telling him, like, I want to be tried by fire. Like, and for me, it's just like when I say it, like, you can tell the passion in my voice and in my heart. Like, God, I want to be tried by fire. I want to be purified. So take whatever you desire, Lord. Here's my life. Even if I did not cry or anything like that, it's meant, it is sincere, and God hears that, and God inhabits the praises. So again, you don't have to be emotional. You don't have to, oh my God, you just out there crying. And you don't have to do that in order to have an encounter with God. God, you can have an encounter with God with me just talking to you just like this. And so as I've grown older in Christ or whatever, and I've been through some things, it's like, yo, I don't have to do all of that. It's okay if you do it. Like, true enough, like sometimes I will cry out, I will do a utterance. I don't know if I speak in tongues or whatever. And because I know like a lot of people, oh, I want to speak in tongues. Hey, if that ain't my gift, that ain't my gift. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with what I have and what God has given me. But like, I just want you to know, like, you don't have to just tap the church. You don't have to be crying and all that other kind of stuff. Your worship, your pure worship, looks different than anybody else's. You can sit up there with a straight face. You can have a smile on your face and you just singing out to God and you just really and truly meaning it. And God can be right there giving you an encounter. God can be pouring into you and you just up there smiling. You ain't bucking. You ain't doing all of that, but you having an encounter with God. And that's all that matters. So I want to say that, y'all, make sure we start worshiping God and stuff like that. The importance of worship. Worship is our weapon. If we can worship in the midst of, if we can worship in the midst of chaos, if we can worship in the midst of the craziness, if we can worship, if we would just worship in the midst of corona, if all the saints would gather, and not necessarily gather, but girl, because corona's out there, but if all the saints was to gather at a certain hour in our homes at one time and at the same time, so it may be 10 o'clock on the East Coast, it may be maybe 8 o'clock where I'm at, or it may be 9 o'clock somewhere else on the West Coast. If we all was to get in sync, all the believers, and we all was to get in sync, and we all was to worship at one time. Oh, baby, baby, like yo, you think? Oh man, I'm telling you, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine or fathom the thought of what God would really and truly do if all of His creation, who are believers in Christ, if we all was to get in one accord, one unison, yokes would be destroyed. Girl, like, yo, I am telling you, that is my prayer. Like, if we can just come in unison, and if we can just really and truly call out to God and pray and call up on Him, He would move. He would move. I can't even imagine, like I said. But nonetheless, we'll keep on going. Y'all, the advice that I want to give, the practical tip: worship. Some songs that you can listen to during your worship. Hold on, child. All right. So some of the songs that you can listen to, I would say the songs that I really listened to this morning. And then I had posted on Facebook that I was singing this, I Want to Be Tried by Fire song. And so like people had put other songs on the page. They was like, look, try this out. So I'm sending to y'all too. I'm telling y'all. So it's Refiner, and it is by look, let me make sure I'm okay. Oh, here go my playlist off of YouTube. It's Refiner, and it's featuring Chandler Moore and Stephanie. So that's one of is Refiner, Refine, or I'm gonna put these in the show notes too, so y'all can check them out. And so another one that I listen to, like when I tell you I listen to this song, girl, So Will I / Do It Again, and it is I'm gonna play a little bit of. Let me see if I can play a little bit of it, y'all, for y'all. This is my song, okay? Like oh my god, this is my song. Y'all probably done heard it before too. All right, guys. So let's settle down. This is my song. We need you to sing this song with us. Listen up. Listen up. God of creation, there at the start, before the beginning of time. With no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and flesh out the wonders of life. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born, and the vapor of your breath the planets form. If the stars are laid to worship, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation wasn't your praises, so will I. So will I. God of your promise, you don't speak in vain, no syllable empty your voice. Y'all, when I tell y'all, that is my song. That is my song. Like when okay, I'm sorry. I would have tapped all the way in. That song is like 11 minutes long on YouTube, but it is So Will I / Do It Again, and it's but like I said, I'm gonna put it all in the show notes. And another one that I like to listen to, I Should Wear a Crown. I know that that's a funeral song, but for me, for whatever reason, it was. I remember I listened to this in my office, And one day, and I just began to worship or whatever, and it talks about how I should wear a crown, and when it's all over, and it just talks about I shall see your face, and it just it just does something to me. But I shall wear a crown. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Like that song does it to me too. Take Me to the King by Tamla Man. I don't have much to bring. My heart is broken. Well, what is it? Broken into pieces. And here's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone. Like, y'all get it. Ooh, Reckless Love. My God. Reckless Love. That is another song. Tasha Cobbs, Fill Me Up. And what is the other song that talks about I'm gonna have to find that song. That is my song though. And Give Me You by Shannon Wilson. What is that song? Yeah, but these, like I said, again, these are songs that you can worship God to. You can really and truly listen to the words. That's what I'm saying. Really listen. These songs that I'm naming, listen to the words and let the words minister to your heart, and really just sing them and pour out to God. And stuff like that. And y'all will do. I'm gonna have to. What is that other song? By dog it, I can't even think of it, y'all. But it's my song. It's by I found it off of what was it? It was on Facebook, and it's by this by this Caucasian people, and it talked about something about allow my that's it's bothering me that I can see the girl singing it. Yeah, it's gonna be in the show notes because I'm gonna find it because it's just bothering me that I cannot find it. But yeah, y'all, that is those worship God. Okay, so the main thing that I kind of really and truly want to talk about today is role identity. Okay, so I've been having a lot of this in my practice where I have been seeing people have role identity issues and problems or whatever. Like people don't know who they are, or either when their family members identify them, they identify them as a title, their job title, or either they just don't know who that person really is. Like that person really and truly haven't necessarily like said who they are, or really haven't been able to um they really haven't been able to figure out who they really are. And so I want us to talk about that. The reason why I want us to talk about that, because it goes back to us not knowing who we really and truly are or whatever. And a lot of times people, we don't know who our true self is. We have been given these roles and these titles by our family members, to where when I ask people like, tell me about yourself, so tell me who you really are, and the first thing they'll tell me is their job title or what their family members think of them or call them. And it's like, no, I don't want to know that person. I want to know who you really and truly are. And so, like, a lot of times, the role that our family, or the job title, especially the role that our family has given us, that's not who we really and truly is. Not who we really and truly are. Like, we're totally something else. But the family doesn't know that, because they won't allow you to be who you really want to be. They won't allow you to be this caring and loving person, this meek and humble person, but they got you as the braggadocious, as the person that come handle things. When things need to be fixed, they call you, instead of you are one of the more softer side of ones. You want people to accept you for who you really are. You want people to love on you, but exterior, you got this aggressive manner, and so the family refer to you as the aggressive one. But truth be told, if they really and truly knew the real you, they would know that ain't even you. But because they have given you that title, And that's how they identify you. So that's how you really and truly feel like needed. Because they only call you for certain things. Like you a nurse. You the family nurse. People don't call you and ask you about nothing else, but they call you when they have a nursing problem. When they need a nurse. Oh, let me call such and such. She a nurse. Oh, and then when they talk about you to other people, oh yeah, this is Danielle. She a therapist. Oh, this is Katrina. She a nurse. I am not just a therapist. A therapist is my occupation. I am a person. Just identify me as Danielle. And so we begin to, because when I act outside of Danielle, I act outside of the therapist role, then you start looking at me crazy. But I'm a real person. I'm just not a therapist. Yes, I love being a therapist. Yes, that is my calling. But when you hear that I am a therapist, you think that I'm meek, mild, manner, that I'm caring, that I have my shit together. Let me say that. That's what you think. When you hear of a therapist, oh, they don't go through nothing. She don't go through nothing. She ain't got no problems. Because she a therapist and she know better. And when you start labeling me just, oh, she the therapist. Oh, she the therapist. And people don't think that I go through stuff. That I'm not human. That I feel like people think that I am not human at all. That I just go through life and everything is peachy keen. I ain't got no problems. Nothing comes my way. I can handle it all and I got everything that I need. And that's far from the truth. So don't identify me as the therapist. Because when I act outside of a therapist that you perceive and that you think, then you be like, oh my God, I can't believe you. I can't believe you. I'm going to give y'all a prime example. So a couple of years back, and first of all, I didn't even know that this was in my character. So I want to say a couple of years back, probably was about 2017. Yeah, 2017. Like mind you, as an adult, I've only had 2 fights in my life. Okay, let me say this. Let's be transparent on here. Okay, I only had like 2 fights in my life, and that was like middle school. I fought Yamisha one time, and I fought who I fought Sean. Yeah. So mind you, like we in elementary or whatever. So those are the fights. Of course I fought my brother or whatever all the time. But I never got in any fights. And when y'all listen to me, y'all are like, y'all wouldn't even, if you really know me, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even think that. Like I know that I got into when I get upset. Let me see when it was. I want to say in college, I was about to fight one of my friends in the union. And so like our friends, but she had really and truly made me mad or whatever. So but that's it. Like none of that. So back in 2017, it was my cousin, my little cousin, he was 17, he got murdered. Hit by his best friend. And so it was just an emotional time. When I say just an emotional, I mean an emotional time. Like we were destroyed. Like, and of course, people are looking at me to be the therapist. So back then, I fit the role. Like I didn't necessarily like I'm not where I'm at today, where I can tell you, where I can just detach from the therapist. Now I detach from the therapist and I'm Danielle. But back then, yes, I'm the therapist. I got to be here. I got to be strong for my family. So here I am being strong, not really feeling my emotions, not doing any of that. And so we go to the wake. Child, I know y'all gonna be like, Danielle is crazy. I do not profess to have it all together. So we go to the wake, right? It wasn't a wake. It was family hour at the funeral home. And so it was just family hour. And so my mom, being the lady that she is, invited these other people whom I didn't have the best relationship with them. They like outside family members. They're not even family members, but they end up coming. And they came to be messy and nosy. And I knew that. I'm looking at them like, what they here for? Like, they not family. And so I seen them come in. I'm like, they being messy. They came to be messy. They came to see why. Like, it ain't the time to be messy. It ain't the time to be messy when a 17-year-old is laying out here in front of his parents, his family. Like, it ain't the time for you to come up in there and be messy. And so when I saw them come in, it was two of them. And mind you, they much older than me. They're in their 40s and 50s. These are old women. And so I'm just like, so I get up and I walk outside. And so, I'm just outside, and like the mom to the son, the mom to my cousin, she was outside too. And so she was like, who invited them? And I was like, I don't know, or whatever. And so, we out there, we talking. I'm like, yo, they just being messy. My cousin was like, yeah, they are being messy, boo, 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 boo. And so, like, I'm just standing out there. And so they come and they left. They was getting ready to leave. And so, as they getting ready to leave, I was just like, I think I said something, but I can't remember what I said. I said something probably about, girl, y'all gonna be like, this girl went from talking about Jesus, been worshiping, to cussing. But I did say, I was like, yo, I think I said these petty people or whatever. And so, no, I say these hoes. That's what I said. I was like, man, these hoes kind of be messy. And and so the woman, she was like, so the woman, because they kin to my cousin, them some kind of way. So the woman, she turned around or whatever, and because she was out there being messy. And so she was like, your mama the hoe. Girl, y'all, I must have charged at this woman outside the funeral home, child. Ain't my proudest moment. It ain't. It ain't my proudest moment. But I was grieving, and I must have charged at this lady, y'all. Like, we was really and truly about to fight outside the funeral home. Girl, I cannot believe I'm telling y'all this story. But well, but they jumped in between us, and y'all was ready to fight her. Fight her. You came to be messy, and you know that. And then you sit out there, you call my mama a hoe. I'm finna fight you. I don't care that you 40 something. You messy. And so I tell this story because my mom, we get in the car and everybody is looking at me. She's the therapist. This is not how a therapist act. This is outside of her character. But nobody looked at me as a human being. Nobody looked to see that I was grieving. Everybody just jumped down my throat for acting like that. And I shouldn't have acted like that because I am a therapist. I am a professional. You know better. You shouldn't do this. But 9 times did anybody ask me how was I grieving the loss of my cousin? Nobody asked me. I'm too busy trying to be there for everybody else, but nobody asked me how I was doing. Nobody asked me how was it to see your 17-year-old cousin laying out there on the slab in a coffin. Nobody asked it. They asked about it to his mama, his auntie. Everybody else asked them how they were doing. Everybody else in the family asked how everybody else was doing, but nobody asked how Danielle was doing because she's a therapist. And that's how I identified. But when I acted up, first of all, I didn't even know that was in me. Let me say that. So nowadays, since I know that I am capable of getting plumb ignorant, okay, that's all I can say. I was out there plumb ignorant. And so when I was able to calm down and I did come back to myself, I went in the building and apologized to the funeral home people because first of all, I didn't know that was in me, but that's really and truly not in my character. So I know I need to go and apologize to these people. Nobody has to tell me that. I'm out here acting a plumb fool out here at your establishment, okay? So, I went up in there and I apologized to the funeral home director. I was like, I am so sorry. Like, this is normally not how I act. And I was just, and the guy was just like, don't worry about it, baby. He was like, I was just trying to make sure you ain't get on my Cadillac, because you would have got on my Cadillac, I would have had to call the police or whatever. He was like, because you would have wore her out. But he was just like, he was like, is sad to say it's not uncommon, but he was just like, when you're dealing with grief, he was like, it can turn the calmest person into the most into a person who ready to fight and anger and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so he was just like, I didn't tell him I was a therapist, child. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna say that. But y'all, so I said all of that to say, don't allow people to make you identify a certain way. Okay? Like, don't allow people to identify you as you being the therapist or the nurse, that you don't have any feelings, that you can handle everything, or if you are the one that you're the aggressive one, and you come handle everything, and you're not allowed to have a moment. Don't allow people to identify you with that. Allow people to identify you with as your name. Danielle is a human. Danielle is a person. She is caring. She is loving. She is loud, country, loud, country, and ghetto at times. I am all three of them. Okay, I am all three of them at once. But as well as I'm loud, country, ghetto, will read you for filth, I can also be a therapist to you as well. I can also help you with your problems. But that's secondary to who I really am, loud, country, ghetto. You know, just loud, country, and ghetto at times. Don't judge me. Judge your mama. Right. What therapist that say don't judge me, judge your mama? Okay. And I tell people that, and I be meaning it. Don't judge me, judge your mama. Oh, okay. But this is just real life. This is who I am. And like, now that the point I'm at, I'm not going to allow people to define me by a title that they have given me. And so what I have been seeing, a lot of people like, oh, she the one that's put together. Oh, she the one that got it together. Oh, she can't do this. She got to be the one for the family to make it out. But everybody else, all the other cousins, they ain't got to be the one. I just got to be the one. Don't put that pressure on me, first of all, to be the one to get the family out. Don't put that pressure on me. I can't put that. And then this is the thing. People put that pressure on you and don't put that pressure on their own kid. No, what you won't do is put that pressure on me to be the one for the family, to be the one that's going to hold this family together, to be the one that's going to be the successful one. No. Put that same energy that you're putting onto me, put that on your own kid. And stop telling people, stop saying that, calling me by my occupation instead of calling me by my name. Oh, that's the therapist. Oh, that's the therapist. Oh, she the family. Oh, that's the nurse. That's the nurse of the family. Oh, that's the lawyer of the family. Oh, that's the teacher of the family. No, that is Danielle. Because when you start saying, oh, that's the therapist of the family, people immediately start asking you therapy questions, immediately want to get your advice on something, and like they immediately want something from you. I ain't got nothing to give you. When I am off the clock, I ain't got nothing. Don't, girl, I ain't no therapist, child. I got issues too. As y'all can see. I got issues too, child. I got issues too. So when I am off the clock and I am not in no therapist mode, I ain't got no freedom therapy t-shirt on, I'm Danielle. And sometimes Danielle gets sad. Sometimes Danielle can be loud. Rarely will you see Danielle ready to fight. But if you push her, she will get there. She'll go there. but it has to do with family. I have realized that about myself. The only one that can get me to where I am ready to literally physically fight is has to do with family. I had that incident with my little cousin, and hit my little cousin funeral. It was another incident 2 years later. 2 years later, child. It was with another family member. And mind you, my cousin that died, his oldest brother. Child, y'all, nonetheless. I ain't gonna even tell y'all that story. But like I never did fight. Let me say that. I never did fight anybody or whatever. But I would have if we would have got loose. Um but it's family, and that's something that is held dear and secret to my heart. Everything else, I done been called a nigger, I done been called a motherfucker by all these people, about white people, going into these people's homes, or I done been called I don't like her. I done dealt with all of that because it comes with the territory of being a social worker. It comes with it. So I done had this one woman say, when I was out in the country. And so I'm walking up to the house, and it was these old people, and mind you, they was like super old. And so I hear the husband say, "Hey, the nigger's here." I can't make this stuff up, y'all. Like I was like, I'm not even gonna say I was shocked, but I think I was shocked in that moment. I was like, and I went and the niggas here? Like I'm the pizza delivery girl. Like the pizza's here, the niggas here. And like, but like I handled that situation. I did handle that. I was just like, we not finna be the nigger girl. We not finna do so. Got them together. But that's what I'm saying. All of that other kind of stuff like that, I can handle that with ease, with no problem. But when you start saying about my family, and with my family that know me the most, when they trigger me, so my family is my trigger. If you talk about my family, you better be, that's a trigger for me. If you come for my family, that's a trigger for me. So, role identity, y'all. I said all of that to say, I told y'all all my business to say, do not allow people, your family especially, to put a role on you or put an identity on you that you do not agree with. Have them to start addressing you as your name, not as your occupation. And if you are no longer the person who they need to run to when they have problems, stop fixing the problem. Tell them you can no longer do that. And if you are the person that, you're the strong one and you are going through some stuff, let that be known. Like, yo, I know everybody is used to come to me for the fix your problems, but right now I'm going through some stuff myself. Could y'all in return support me? Okay? Like, yo, we have to start putting put some boundaries in place with your families. I think that's another thing that we tend to, we don't do, because like we don't want to tell our family members no, especially Big Mama and all this other kind of stuff. No, put some boundaries in place with Big Mama too. You cannot pour from a empty well. And if you're always giving to people, what you got? What you got for yourself when you come home? You have nothing. What do you have for your children? What do you have for your husband? What do you have for your wife? What do you have if you're giving it all to everybody else? Everybody else in your family is taken care of, but the people in your household, you have nothing for them? No, that's not okay. You pour into yourself first. If you're the husband, God gonna pour into you. You pour into your wife, and your wife then reports into the children. Again, boundaries, people. When you marry, a lot of times we be like, oh, our children come first. That is, if you are a Christian, that is not the order. The order is the husband, then the wife. Then after that, the order is God, husband, wife, children. People on our side. People, everybody else, okay? So when you stop putting them children before your husband and your wife too. Stop putting them before your spouse. I'm not saying neglect your children, but I am also saying spend time with your spouse. Grow together with your spouse. A lot of times we get all the children events and all this other kind of stuff. Little Johnny got to go to this. Little Johnny got to go through that. And wife and husband ain't seen each other in 2 weeks. Haven't spent any quality or intimate moments with each other. And I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about intimacy. Sometimes intimacy is not physical sex. It is having intimate moments with your spouse. It is you and your spouse connecting on a deeper level. Sometimes it's just conversation, or sometimes it's just you holding your wife or you holding your husband. Let me say that, because wives, sometimes y'all need to hold them men too. And ain't nothing wrong with you holding your man, sis. Come here, babe. Let me hold you. Let me hold you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Man, let your wife hold you. Let your wife cradle you. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying like wife continue to hold him every day. Now, husband, you hold your wife too. But what I am saying though, women, honestly, really and truly, sometimes, because I had a man in my practice say that. He was like, I just want her to hold me sometimes. She was like, he the man. He should. And I'm like, no. If that's what he needs sometimes, that's what he needs, sis. Hold him tight. Hey, babe, I got you. Pray over your husband. Child, sometimes you need to pray over your husband so the husbands won't get him. Okay? If you hold him, just hold him, pray on him. Jesus, keep him. Keep him so I don't have to kill him. Okay? Because if you cheat on me, I'm just saying, y'all. Okay? Let's just be real. Okay? So, but nonetheless, y'all. Role identity. Stop allowing people to tell you who you are, and you tell them who you are. Take the time to figure out who you are too. Because a lot of times we just don't know who we are. We need to take some time alone to figure out who we are. We need to start, I think that might be next week's episode. Who are you? Yep. That'll be next week's episode. You sitting down, trying to, ways for you to figure out who you really are. Being able to identify yourself. Being able to tell me, if I had a penny, not even a nickel, if I had a penny for everybody that comes in my office and I say, sit down, I say, okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Who's Danielle Bailey? Who's Bridget Brown? Who are you? What is it that you like to do? What makes you happy? That's the kick. The one that, if I had half a cent for every time I say, so tell me a little bit about what makes you happy. And 9 times out of 10, they don't know. They don't know. You don't know who you are. You don't know what makes you happy. Because you've given to everybody else, and you never sat down to actually pour back into yourself. You never sat down to establish a self-care routine. Self-care is just not going to spend money to get your nails done, to get your hair done. Low key, nails and hair done for some people is maintenance, just being a woman. Haircut is maintenance as a man. That is not self-care. Spending money sometimes is not self-care. You don't have to spend money sometimes. Sometimes my self-care is me getting up, spending time with God every day, praying to God, writing in my journal, or either taking a hot bath, or even better yet, staying at the house at least once a week with no distractions. That's self-care. That's free and that's doable. My time with God, that is self-care, because I need that outside of, everything else that I'm doing. I need that sometimes. I need an extra hour or two to spend with God. That's self-care. Self-care isn't always where you spend money. Sometimes self-care is putting them children to bed early, getting with your spouse, y'all having a good time, y'all doing grown-up stuff, okay? Y'all get what I'm putting. Y'all getting what I'm putting down. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. What the old folks say. Y'all go up there. Y'all do some grown up stuff. Send them children to their grandma and grandpa house so y'all can have the whole house to yourself. So you can do some grown up things without restriction. Okay. Get outside, and wives, get outside your comfort zone too and be who that man needs you to be. If he needs you to be a woman of the night, you be a woman of the night. Okay? Go get your stuff. Go get your stuff. I'm trying to help save marriages now. Go get your stuff, wife. Be the woman of the night. The woman that you see on the street corner. Y'all, husband, if the wife needs you to be who she needs you to be, I need you to be who she needs you to be. I need you to be King Kong. Okay? I need you to be that. I need you to be that police officer. Okay? So whatever it is that y'all need for each other, from each other, or whatever. Whatever it is that y'all need from each other, give it to each other. Literally and physically. Okay? I'm just saying. Nonetheless, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. I be lying in these episodes when I say it's going to be 30 minutes. I am so sorry. Y'all know I get on my tangent. I get on my rant. It is 51 minutes and 20 something seconds. Nonetheless, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming back to Southern Therapy Podcast. I am your host, Danielle Bailey. I love y'all, and that is not a thing you can do about it. I love you. Jesus loves you, most important. Go and talk to the man if you haven't talked to him. Go and worship him if you have not worshiped him. Sing you a good old song. Check the description box and go and listen to some of them songs on YouTube and get your little worship in. 5 to 10 minutes will do you good. Nonetheless, love y'all. Talk to y'all next week. Bye.